And we're back with some more Hamilton Tigers franchise mode in FHM 11. And in this one, we have the year 12 playoffs. Now, we are dealing with a couple of injuries going into this series. Joe Miller, who is actually currently a 4-star ability. I didn't even realize how quickly he grew this season. Let's take a look at his development. Nothing in physical. Mental grew quite a bit this season. Offensively, he didn't grow at all. And then defensively, didn't grow at all. So really just mentally is where he saw growth this season. And he is now up to a 4-star ability. So that's certainly quite the progression from Joe Miller. So it's unfortunate to have him out with an indefinite injury for these playoffs. And then Artem Levshinov with the major injury as well, a 3.5-star ability. We are certainly going to be missing both of them. So that being said, let's get into game number 1 against the New York Islanders. That will be a 4-2 Islanders victory. Shots are 29-28 in favor of the Islanders. 3 stars of the game: Burke, Eliasson, and Perreault. First period, you have Daniil Pavlinin with the goal for the New York Islanders to put them up 1-0. Second period, no scoring. Third period, you have the goal for Olsen on the power play to put them up 2-0. And then you have Cam Kennedy to make it 3-0 before we get our first from Viggo Bjork with roughly 3 minutes to go in the third period from Schaefer and Helenius to make it 3-1. Then it's Van Burke with the goal to make it 4-1 in favor of the Islanders. And then Artem Korolev with the goal from Vic and Eliasson to make it interesting with less than a minute remaining. But unfortunately, it was already too little too late at that point. All right, here we go. Game number 2 will be a 3-2 Hamilton victory. There you go. Shots are 33-31 in favor of the Islanders. 3 stars of the game are Vic, Olsen, and Eliasson. First period, Vic with the goal on the power play from Helenius and DuPont to make it 1-0. And then you have Eliasson with the goal from Nemetz and Kazda to make it 2-0, heading into the second period where there's no scoring. Third period, you have Nab and Danford for the Islanders to make it 2-2. And we head into overtime where Artem Korolev gets the goal from Vic to make it a 3-2 victory in overtime. And we have a 1-1 series tie. All right, here we go. Game number 3 will be a 4-3 Islanders victory. Shots are 44-24 in favor of the Islanders. Not liking that. 3 stars of the game: Pavlinin, Helenius, and Marshall. First period, Viggo Bjork with the goal from Sikora and Helenius makes it 1-0. And the second period, you have Kennedy and Nab with the back-to-back goals to make it 2-1 in favor of the Islanders. However, Connor Schmidt with the goal for us from Bolius and Helenius to make it 2-2. And then Consta Helenius from Bjork and Bolius to make it 3-2, heading into the third period where it's Marshall on the power play and then Perreault to make it a 4-3 Islanders victory. And here we go into game number 4. Come on, boys. Ooh, that's a 4-2 Islanders victory. Shots are 33-32 in favor of Hamilton. 3 stars of the game are Olsen, Helenius, and Kusela. First period, no scoring. Second period, Jacob Sikora with the goal for us. Puts us up 1-0 from Frundell and Helenius. And then you have Vic on the power play from Bjork and Helenius to make it 2-0. But then it's Marshall and Kusela with the goals to make it tied at 2, heading into the third period, where is Olsen and Pavlinin with the goals for the Islanders to make it a 4-2 Islanders victory. And we are now down 3-1 in the series. Let's see what's going on. I mean, Helenius is doing everything he can here to try to get us back in this series. 7 points in 4 games played. Then you have Vic and Bjork with 4 points in 4 games played each. Then how about in goal? 899 save percentage for Asselin. Come on, man. We need some better goaltending around here. And we need it now here in game number 5 against the New York Islanders. Come on, boys. Come on, Hamilton. There it is. Brett Olsen with the goal from Veilleux and Schmidt to put us up 1-0 early in the first period. And that'll be it for 1. We are heading into the second period up 1-0. Come on, Hamilton. Goal for Kulina makes it tied at 1 early in the second period. But there's a goal for Frundell from Bjork and Helenius to break the tie once again. And we're up by 1. Come on. Daniil Pavlinin with the goal to make it tied at 2. We score 1. They answer right back. But there's a goal for Kazda from Korolev and Vic. Hold this lead. Come on. Hold this lead. Get me another one. All right, we're heading into the third period up by 1. Get me another one, Hamilton. Don't let them get the next goal. There it is. Viggo Bjork, the captain, with the goal from Schmidt and Sikora to put us up 4-2. And will that be it? Yes, it is. All right, so we managed to push to a game number 6. The shots are 30-27 in favor of Hamilton. 3 stars of the game: Schmidt, Kennedy, and Bjork. All right, here we go. Game number 6, going into it once again. On home ice this time. There you go. Yannick Yagi with the early goal in the first period from Schaefer and Kazda to put us up 1-0. 2-0. Connor Schmidt with the goal from Schaefer and Florent. Makes it 2-0. Up, there's a goal for Baudouin for the Islanders. Makes it 2-1. Halfway through the first period. Come on, Hamilton. All right. So we get out of the first up by 1. Let's try to get another here in the second period. Come on. All right. Nothing doing the second period. I will take it. We're still up. But let's try to get another one here in the third. Come on, Hamilton. Ooh, there's a goal for Brady Trost, the unassisted goal to make it tied at 2. All right. We're headed into overtime. We're in an elimination game here, so we need this win. Come on, Hamilton. All right, we're headed to a second overtime. Nothing doing in the first. And who will it be? It'll be the Islanders. Marshall with the goal seals the deal. And we are once again out in the first round. Shots are 41-37 in favor of Hamilton. 3 stars a game. Marshall, Schmitz, and Gidloff with a 951 save percentage. Oh, man. Guess we'll take one more look at the stats for the playoffs. Asselin, in 6 games played, had a 906 save percentage. I mean, he had a couple of solid performances in there. 3-2 win, obviously. There was a good game for him. 4-2 win, another good game. I mean, Asselin never really was too bad. He only ever gave up at most 4 goals. So he didn't have any real stinkers in there. And the first line did their jobs. Helenius, Bjork, and Vic, they were very good in this series. But actually, it appears Frundell's been on the first line. But still, the point stands that we were getting scoring, or at least a decent amount from our star players. I think the problem this year was lack of depth scoring. Beyond these 3, and then Connor Schmidt for some reason. Then you have Korolev, Kazda, Sikora, and Schaefer with 3. Eliasson, Frundell, and Bolius with 2. Then you have Yagi, Olsen, Veilleux, DuPont, Florence, and Nemetz all with 1. DuPont only with 1. Ugh. For the amount of money that's getting paid, I expect a little bit more than that. Then you have Finley, Levshunov, who didn't play. Miller, of course, didn't play either. And then Farkas, Nielsen, and Stewart with no points. So all I can really say about these playoffs is disappointing. I mean, that's really all there is to it at this point. Ooh, we have more injuries here that appear to have probably happened, I would imagine, the international tournaments. Korolev with the indefinite injury. We'll put him on the injury list, and that'll probably continue into next season. And then you have Vic with a fractured tibia for 2 to 3 months. So Vic will probably be back by the time next season starts. But Miller and Korolev, their injuries appear to be going into next season. Levshunov will be back soon. But man, I think this team might be due for an audit. And what I mean by that is just go through every player, literally every single player. Nobody is exempt from this. And just look through and scrutinize every little detail. This includes personalities, this includes basic stats, this includes expanded stats. We need to figure out what the heck is going on here in this team. This includes all of our coaches as well: Seibel, Bugner, Littner, Pronger, Sundin, everything. We need to, because at this point, Vigo Bjork's 28, DuPont's 27, Schaefer's 28. We have a roster that is in the prime of its time. Like this is the time to win, and we keep blowing it in the first round or maybe second if we get there. Something needs to happen. So let's take a look at each individual player and see if they're worth holding on to. Emil Asselin, 2.5 star ability, 29 years of age, making $3 million in his contract for the next 3 years, well, 2 seasons after this. If he's on your roster, controversy will follow. Okay, getting rid of you. Parker, 1.5 star ability, disappears when the game is on the line. Okay, to the trade block you go. I am not messing around here. DuPont tends to move around more than average, stays out of trouble on the ice. Okay, I mean, this isn't the worst personality trait. I can live with that. Especially since we have him locked up for the next 5 years after this, right? So that's not a concern as of right now. 52 points in 82 games played, 64 grade, 142 hits, 143 shots blocked, 273 shots. I like DuPont for the most part. The only thing about DuPont is that he had a very underwhelming playoffs. Only 1 point in 6 games played. I'm pretty sure we'll keep DuPont just given his massive contract, and also given the fact that he is, for the most part, a very good player. I just wish that he was a bit more productive during these playoffs, but it was only, at the same time, it was only 1 season, right? That was only 1 playoffs that he's been in with us so far. So I will give him a pass. Schaefer, solid 2-way defenseman with that 18 roll rating, 4-star ability, 28 years of age, $5 million on his salary for the next 2 years after this. Personality traits, looks pretty good there. I don't see anything I don't like. Did very well during the regular season for us. 12 points in 14 games played, 70 grade, 10 hits, 33 shots in a very limited amount of games. So I like that. Playoffs, he had 3 points this year, 71 grade in 6 games, 19 shots. I think Schaefer can stay. Sikora, 17 roll rating as a 2-way defenseman, like that. Only 1 year left in his contract. Has a tendency to disappear when the game is on the line. 57 hits. Yeah, Sikora can go. Sikora can absolutely go. Gabriel Eliasson, 15 stay-at-home defenseman, making roughly $5 million on his cap hit for the next year after this. 2.5-star ability. A little prone to controversy, so that is something to note. 35 points in 82 games played, 66 grade, 152 hits, 125 shots blocked. Let's see, what about playoffs? 11 hits in 6 games played, 2 points, 64 grade. Bolius, 2-star ability, 12 mobile defenseman, a tendency to get a little overconfident. If he's on your roster, controversy will follow. Yep, we can trade him. Connor Schmidt, 14 roll rating for 2-way defenseman, 2-star ability. 1 year left on his deal. He has to be re-signed this year. I like his personality. That's good. In 10 games played for us this year, 1 point at 52 grade, 13 hits, 11 shots blocked. If he's not asking for too much, then I guess we'll re-sign him. But I get the feeling that he's going to ask for quite a bit here, considering that he's already making that amount of money. 4.6, nah, you can you can get released. And actually, Jake Stewart is not even interested in re-signing, so he is just automatically not coming back next year. And then Slavomir Farkas, 1.5-star ability on a minor league deal. The bigger the game, the better he performs. A little too concerned with how much money he makes. I mean, that's not exactly a concern for me right now, considering his where his ability is at, and the fact that he's on a minor league deal. In 32 games played this year, he had 11 points and a 60 grade, 18 hits, 38 shots, 15 shots blocked. I think he could benefit from some time in the AHL. At forward, Viggo Bjork. Let's see, Mr. Captain, what are you about? 18 roll rating for up and down winger, making $11 million per year for the next 2 years after this. Very good in essentially every category. He has some issues handling criticism, but for the most part, has a decent personality. 76 points this past year in 76 games played, 74 grade, 102 hits, 283 shots, 94 shots blocked. And during the playoffs, he had 12 hits in 6 games played, 6 points. I think we could keep Viggo Bjork around. Konsta Helenius needs an extension on his deal. 17-point shooter rating at 30 years of age. Little prone to controversy. A bit of a journeyman. He had 65 points in 78 games played this year, 65 grade, 95 hits, 57 shots blocked, 251 shots. I think it depends on how much he wants. He wants nearly $7 million for 5 years at 30 years of age. I don't know just yet about Helenius. What about Kazda? 15 power forward rating, 3.5-star ability, 3 years left on his deal after this year. Personality-wise, he's a little prone to controversy. 47 points this past year in 82 games played, 60 grade, 111 hits, 52 shots blocked, 162 shots. Vic, 3.5-star ability, 1 year on his deal after this at 2.5. I like Vic a lot for his personality. Takes success in stride, very high IQ, and can be counted on to avoid dwelling on his failures. I love that personality. He had 68 points this past season, 82 grade, 104 hits, 50.6 faceoff percentage, 202 shots. I think we can keep Vic around. Frundell, let's see. 16 rating for back checking forward, 3.5-star ability, 1 year left on his $5.5 million deal. Not anything too concerning there. 48 points in 80 games played, 62 grade, plus 17, 96 hits, only a 44.1 faceoff percentage. Ooh. Really struggled this year with the faceoffs. 73 shots blocked, 179 shots. I mean, if we switch him to right wing as his primary position, then I think he would do better there. So maybe if we use Rundell as a winger, then that would be for the best, because his faceoff percentage this past year was very concerning. 44% for a center on nearly 1,400 draws. So I think we'll hold on to Frundell, but I definitely want to use him as a winger next year. And I think for that reason, I might end up trying to be the coach myself. Like, I'm not talking about actually being the head coach, actually taking the title of head coach, but what I want to do next year is be able to set the lineups myself at the very least, so that we can do things like put Frundell at wing, because I think he would do well in that role, but he clearly just has not been working out at center in terms of his faceoffs, because I don't think he had a single faceoff percentage that was 50 or above, right? And yeah, well, he did, but that was quite a while ago. That was 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, actually, 50.2 during the 2030-31 season. And every season after that has been quite poor, actually, on the faceoffs. So yeah, I think we got to move Frundell to wing. So actually, I'll just change his position right now to remind myself to put him at wing next season. Noah Florent, 3.5-star ability, 2 years left on his deal after this year with 4.4 in salary, 18 two-way forward rating, a little prone to controversy, not known for being loyal. Okay, let's see what else. 45 points in 82 games played, 60 grade, -4, 122 hits, 192 shots. Let's see, how do you do in the playoffs? 1 point in 6 games played, -2, 60 grade, 11 hits. I'm iffy on Florent. Nemetz, 14 screener rating. 1 year left on his deal after this year for $5 million. I like his personality. Personality is very good on Nemetz. 42 points this past season in 68 games played, 62 grade, +16. Only 66 hits compared to being in the 90s 4 years prior. 159 shots. So this might be as a result of a decreased ice time. Yeah, he had less ice time this year than the 4 years past. So not sure on Nemetz. Yagi needs to be re-signed this year. 16 counter attack and forward rating. I like his personality for the most part. It says he'll probably ask for a little bit more in contract negotiations than most players, though. So obviously, there's not too much to judge him on in terms of stats from this past season. Only 6 points in 9 games played due to his injury. The season before that, he had 37 points in 82 games played. But it did look like that he was on the up and up this season in terms of point scoring. However, he is another case of does not appear to be a very good center in terms of face-off taking at the NHL level. He had a 52.7 his first year, but that was only on 91 draws. Ever since he became a primary center here, he has not been doing too well. 48.7, 49%, 40.4 on 141 face-offs taken. So I think Yagi might be another case of move to the wing if possible. So I think it's going to depend on how much he wants. How much does he want? 5.6 for 3 years. I mean, if he continued on the trajectory that he was going, then it looked like he was going to break at least 50 points if he hadn't gotten injured this past year. So I think context for Yagi is important. And he also had a 62 defensive grade. So it's important to keep that in mind. Then Philippe Veilleux, 12 counterattacking forward rating. He doesn't make too much money. 2.5 star ability. Normal personality. 18 points in 61 games played, 55 grade. 42 hits. 9 shots blocked. 49 shots. I mean, I guess he's cheap depth, but I'd prefer to replace him if possible. Then you have Jake Stewart, who we already know is getting traded, or I guess is just getting released. And you have Brett Olson, who needs to be re-signed this year. 13 screener rating, 2.5 star ability. Personality is decent. 15 points in 38 games played this year, 55 grade. Only 19 hits, 9 shots blocked, 37 shots. How much does he want? 1.3. I mean, again, he's cheap depth, but would prefer to replace him if possible. And then Linus Nielsen, 22 years of age, 14 aggressive forechecker rating, 2-star ability. Great personality. Love that personality. He saw some decent growth this year in his physical ratings, his mental ratings, none offensively, none defensively, but he is growing slowly but surely. And in 44 games played this year at 18 points, a 56 grade, 42 hits. So I think we'll keep Nielsen around. You know what? I think I will trade Nemetz because his defensive ratings aren't all that impressive, neither is mental. And to be honest, this team has just gone far too long with far too little success. We might be blowing the team up here, guys. I got to be honest with you. Look how many people are on a trade block. Sakura, Nemetz, Asselin, Stewart, Veilleux, Olsen, Bolius, Schmidt, and Pocker. Yeah, this team has been very disappointing so far. Oh, right. I didn't even look at the players on the injury list yet. So you have Levshinov. He has a 15 two-way defenseman rating, 3.5 star ability, making 5.5 for the next 2 years after this. I like his personality. That's good. 51 points in 74 games played this year, 61 grade, +18, 86 hits, 70 shots blocked, 226 shots. And obviously he was injured for the playoffs, so can't check the playoff stats. I mean, the thing I'll say about Levshinov is that he seems like he's very consistent. I know he didn't have as many hits this year as he normally does, but I think we can attribute that to the fact that he had less playing time this year than he has for the past, ever since he was in the NHL. And he had more points this year than he had since his time with Chicago. I think Levshinov can probably stay. What about Korolev? I know we just traded for him, but still, I'm evaluating everybody here. Nobody is exempt. Korolev, not known for being loyal. I mean, I guess we'll see how much he wants in his negotiations. 50 points in 78 games played at 61 grade, 62 hits, 178 shots. He has a 15 faceoff rating, so maybe we consider switching him to center instead of the left wing. That being said, when he was with Utah, at least in his first year, he had a 45.9 faceoff percentage and 780 faceoffs taken. But then the year after that, he was close to 50%. He was basically right there at 49.9. And then this year, on 137 faceoffs taken, he had a 54.7. So I think moving him to center is something to consider. at the very least. And then Joe Miller, 4-star ability, 15 aggressive forechecker. I like his personality for the most part. He had 28 points in 67 games played this year, 60 grade. Of course, he had that nasty injury, 103 hits, 107 shots, 44 shots blocked. I like the way that Miller simulates for the most part, so I think we'll keep him as well. So that being said, let's get to the re-signings here. You have Miller, who is up this year. He wants 2.7 for 6 years. So that is, honestly, that's kind of a bargain given the fact that he's a 4-star ability now, apparently. So we will do that for him. 2.55 for 6 years. That is a good deal. We will submit that. Hellenius wanted 7 mil for 5 years. I don't know if I'd do 5 just given his age. I mean, he was our best playoff performer this year, for sure. 8 points in 6 games played, 73 grade, 7 hits. So it's just a matter of, are we going to be able to get him down on his years? Because I do not want to do 5 years for him. I don't know if this is going to be possible, but I want to try to get him down to 3. Yeah, he's really not budging from 5 years. And I got him down to 6.66 for 5 years. Money-wise, he's worth that. He's worth 6.6, but the term is where I'm sort of debating right now. Oh, you know what? You know what I just noticed? Maybe we could use Hellenius as a center. Because look at some of his faceoff percentages when he was with Winnipeg. 60% on 148 faceoffs taken, 60% on 164. So he's never played center often, but when he does, he's pretty darn good at it. And this year he had a 55.2 on 96. And when we take a look at his faceoff rating, 16. Okay, I think we might have to switch Hellenius to a full-time center. And he's got the 19 center rating, so he basically slot right in without much trouble. Yeah, I think we should re-sign Hellenius and use him as a center. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we will give him the 6.66 for 5 years. We may have to trade him toward the end of that contract, but I think for right now, given our circumstances with the center situation, I think this will be worth it. So we will submit that offer to him. Korolev, I was able to get down to 5.2 for 3 years. I think I'll do that. And then Yagi, what do you want again? 5.6 for 3 years. I mean, it might take a little bit for him to get fully adjusted to left wing, but he's still good enough to the point where I want to keep him, but try a new role for him, you know? Yeah, so I think we'll try him at left wing. That being said, how many wingers do we have now with all the role switching we've been doing here? Actually, it seems like they're perfectly balanced here. You have 4 left wingers, 4 right wingers, and 4 centers. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. So you'd have Hellenius as your first line center, I think, and then Vic as the second line center. Well, obviously Stewart and Olsen aren't hanging around, so we're gonna have to find 2 bottom 6 centers. Then you have Bjork as the first line left winger. Yagi, at least for right now, would be the second line left winger. Then we're going to have to find 2 more left wingers to replace Veyu and Nemetz. Then at right wing, you have, I'm going to say Frundell on the first line, then Florent on the second, Kazda on the third, and then Nielsen on the fourth. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. So I think we will re-sign Yagi here. And we got him down to 5.19 for 3 years. And the 2035-36 Stanley Cup champions are the Seattle Kraken. They went through Calgary, Chicago, Colorado, and Buffalo in a sweep. And now it's time for the award ceremony for the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Maurice Richard. It is, of course, Connor Bedard, who continues his success at 30 years of age. 121 points this year, 55 goals. And for the Lady Byng, it is Liam Ogren of Minnesota, 75 points in 77 games played. Bill Masterton goes to Logan Cooley of Utah, 30 goals and 81 points. Mark Messier Leadership Award goes to Ilya Pautov of New York, 7 goals and 19 points. Once again, not sure how this award is awarded. And Adam Fox is the captain over there, so is he even? No, he's not even an alternate, so that is, once again, beyond me how that award is awarded. And for the Jennings Trophy, you have Drew Camiso of Tampa. He has been very good in this save file with the .917 save percentage in 61 games played. And for the Hart between Max Melicheric, Cameron Combe, and Connor Bedard, it is Connor Bedard with 121 points. For the Conn Smythe, it is Carson Carrolls of Seattle with 17 points in 23 games played as a defenseman. For the Calder between Brandon Ismond, Mike Duhacek, and Jack Carlson, it is Mike Duhacek of Anaheim with 57 points. For the Norris between William Puggard, Moritz Cedar, and Kyle Masters, it is William Puggard of Vegas with 75 points in 81 games played. For the Selke between Miroslav Kochi, Riley Koch, and Lincoln Ashton, it is Riley Koch of Portland with 68 points. And for the Vesna, between Marcus Gidloff, Carter Essler, and Carson Bjarnason, it is Carter Essler of Detroit with a 916 save percentage and 6 shutouts. For the GM of the year, between Kevin Cheveldayoff, Kevin Adams, and Eric Tolsky, it is Kevin Adams of the Islanders. And for the Jack Adams, between Stu Bickel, Alex Tanguay, and Manny Malhotra, it is Manny Malhotra of the Islanders. All right, now let's take a look at signing deadlines, see who's coming up. That is a lot of signing deadlines. I think we will sign Marc-Olivier Hamel. He's 20 years of age, 1.5-star talent, 2.5-star potential, but I think he's the only one. We might sign Benefield as well. Yeah, Hamel and Benefield are the only ones. All right, shopping Bolius and Asselin, we can get a 4th and a 5th back from most of these teams. It doesn't seem like we're getting anything better, so I think we'll just send them to Nashville. And here is our 2035-36 season summary. We reached the playoffs and had a winning season. Nothing else. Longevity bonus of 11, total season score 26, total career score of 247. Now I think I'll max out both discipline and player management. I think, honestly, we're just going to do a whole coaching reset as well. We'll just get rid of Sundin, Bugner, Seibel, all of them. Like, we'll just do complete clean slate as far as coaches go. Another thing we could do if we absolutely need to is just use Bjork as center. He's got that 16 faceoffs, 19 center rating, and he has a history of being very good on faceoffs, 59% on 256 draws during the 2031-32 season. So that's something else we could do, because we do have quite a few left wingers right now. and then we would be extremely deep in center. You have Bjork is a first line center, Helenius is second line center, Vic is the third line center. That's a very deep center court. So maybe that's something to consider. But regardless, I think this team definitely needed a reset, not only with the coaching, but with the roster as well. So I think that'll be about it for this one. And the next one, we will look for answers to what the winning formula here in Hamilton is going to be, because it clearly was not working up to this point. But of course, before we end off this episode, gotta thank the channel members. And we actually have a new channel member here, Ryan Q. Thank you so much for joining the channel as a member. And that makes 3 channel members now. So thank you so much, guys. That really means a lot. And of course, don't forget to redeem your custom player perk if you haven't already by checking out the link that is linked on the recent members only post or on the Discord server in the membership info channel. So thank you guys so much once again. And I will see you guys in the next one when we continue to reshape this team.